Hello, Resurrection Parish. My name is Paul Miller.
And I'm Carrie Miller, and we've been married for 18 years. We've been members of Resurrection Parish for about 8 years. We have 5 amazing children. Our oldest is going to be in 8th grade, and our youngest is 3, and will be in 3K, all at Father Alloway Catholic School.
We were very honored and jazzed to be able to talk today about stewardship. Our stewardship means to us the gifts that God has given to us in order to honor his glory in helping to serve others.
So when I think about the most significant gift that God has given to me, it's a very strong faith that left zero doubt in my overly analytical mind that Paul was the lucky guy who God intended for me to marry. We had no doubt that God had our paths cross at the perfect time and had big plans for us. Growing up, I asked my parents, how would I be able to know when I met the right person to marry? And they told me, you will just know. Boy, were they right. We are both so thankful for the gift of our marriage. Through this sacrament of marriage, God has led us to many leadership roles together because we complement each other very well. We have opposite strengths and weaknesses, which give us a good set of tools to do great things together.
It's a real honor to be married to Carrie, and I also agree that our marriage is the foundation. Prior to getting to know Carrie, my faith was wavering, in certain ways almost non-existent. However, after getting to know Carrie, wanting to date Carrie, enhancing our relationship, getting engaged, getting married, stewardship became something that was really important to her. Because it was important to her, it became important to me. Naturally, once you start to do something, even if it's for somebody else, and you get joy out of it, then it also becomes your own quest. And so I really look back at our life in terms of stewardship as something that Carrie introduced me to very softly. We became catechists. We became a focus couple within the church. And then from there, things continued to build, and we took on bigger leadership roles.
When I was in my mid to late 20s, I had been working at the Kohler Company in marketing and new product development for a few years, and I was climbing the corporate ladder really quickly. During that time in my life, my main focus was doing whatever it took to better my career. As I became increasingly more unhappy in this pursuit, it suddenly became very clear to me that I had been a taker for most of my life. It seemed that so many people had helped me through my life and had given me their gifts of stewardship, but I wasn't adequately reciprocating or sharing my gifts with others. At the ripe old age of 27, and despite my college degree and my MBA, I made a huge decision to quit my job at the Kohler Company. It was time to give back. I completely switched gears and became a youth minister. I actually worked at Our Lady of Lourdes with Father Tim Shilcox for 6 years, and also started coaching the St. Norbert College tennis team with Paul, which we did for 15 years. In more recent years, I have found another coaching interest that I can use my gift of long-distance running, and I coach runners to help them achieve their goals.
In those 15 years that Carrie and I coached college tennis, it was some of the most magical years. The relationships that developed, how to form a team and build a culture and develop that. And as Carrie had said earlier, sometimes when you just know whether it's who you're going to marry or you just know when it's time to move on. So reluctantly, we felt with the 5 children aging the way that they did, that it might be something that would have run its course, and it was time to come to an end of coaching college tennis. Interestingly enough, it was just at that time that we started to coach the Father Alloway middle school tennis team. We started to coach our own children. And in a very interesting twist of fate, Carrie was asked to coordinate the pacing team for our local Green Bay Marathon. And she brought me into it. And in fact, she asked me if she thought that she could do this. And I remember specifically saying, at what point do you think that you're going to have enough time and desire to want to do this? And I remember specifically her looking at me and saying, I feel called. So once Carrie brought God into it, we said yes. And this interesting little thing she now is wearing right now on pay, that was no intention as it pertained to this speech, but we formed a company, a community called On Pace Race. And now what started as the Green Bay Marathon, we have pacers all over the country, and we help pace marathons and half marathons all over the country. And our children are involved with it. And it's a stewardship-based, selflessness-based activity to help other people reach their goals through the sport of endurance running. So it's just another example, I think, as we've aged, where things have continued to, God has opened doors for us, and we've walked through them. And we're never too old, and we're never too stubborn in our ways to make a shift if it feels right.
I think we all know we can't take it with us, and we need to ask ourselves what matters most. Accumulating as much wealth as possible, seeing how many Facebook friends we can have, or sharing our gifts and talents with others. Thank you.